All right, we're going.
Yeah.
Okay. To start things off, we're having a little talk with your boy Thomas.
Yeah, he just woke up and was
Got fucked up.
So prepare to try and find your tokens because this place is fucking massive.
Oh god.
Jesus.
Oh god.
Where
Okay.
I see Thomas?
Where-
No, it's my icon.
Oh, that's a lot of loading.
There's our.
¿Dónde está?
There's
Oh, there you go.
Where am I?
You're the
You should have control over yourselves.
Oh, I see myself.
I have no control over myself.
The only three people who did not get fucking.
Most of the parties.
I got sliced, but
How do you not have control over yourself? Wait, did I fucking?
I
Didn't I put you on the map layer? How the fuck did I put you on the map layer?
Spaghetti.
everyone who got fucked.
Fucking this odd three.
Oh, this is a nice
hell?
base, though.
Whose man's is this? That's my boy! Hello, John.
So yeah, those three hanging out, and then.
Oh wait, where's John? Is he in
He's at the
the?
top.
Where's John?
Where is John?
He's having a snooze.
Where's our boy John? There he is.
I'm pinging him.
Yeah.
I'm pinging your boy.
There's
you.
John.
Yeah.
How old is John?
Oh,
Did
he's
John.
having
Get that?
snooze.
John is doing his bit for domesticated death.
And and there was wasn't there the two other people that escaped with Angie and her intro?
Are they staying on base with us?
Yeah, or did they want to get out as soon as possible?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I like that.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, it's fine. They're fine. I believe in them. They're strong, independent women.
I mean, they're alive. If that's what you're wondering.
And she fucking lies through her teeth.
Yeah, I mean, they're alive. If that's what you're wondering.
It's very
Excellent.
foreboding.
Okay, they're on the roof.
Okay.
There's my boss.
So, Thomas, you awaken to a rather sterile room. You seem to be in a hospital bed.
Right. And are the curtains separating everything so I can't see any? I only see my corner of the room, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do I see anyone?
Yeah. You look forward.
Terry, I just noticed.
I don't have a token for him.
Okay.
You
T.
T's for testosterone. The guy's fucking manly. Anyway. That was the worst thing to come out of my mouth. I apologize.
I hate it.
You look forward. You look forward. And
There we go.
Yeah! We can replace the something funny placeholder at last.
What? A placeholder? Okay. So you look forward, kind of raise your head up, and you see, you see somebody who you didn't meet Elias, correct, Thomas?
Yeah, I guess because he just woke up, he's fuzzy and shit, so...
Yeah. So you wake up to two people you've never met before talking to each other about the condition of everybody in here vaguely. You kind of pick that up.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna be quiet. He'll try to not let them know that he's awake, so he can listen in. It's like,
Do you want to roll for me a presence subterfuge to keep your presence hidden so that they don't know about your state of being at the moment?
okay, presence. Would my strikings would not count on this?
No, that would be the opposite. If you're trying to get them to notice you.
It's only 3 dice.
You're trying to like pretend to be asleep. You're
lying-
just smoldering.
Work
No,
in
lying wouldn't count. Freaking no.
Fucking.
You kind of raise up and the bed creaks a little bit, and so you see the blonde one kind of turn and be like, oh, and then you just, oh, he's awake.
Yeah.
And you see the other one just kind of like look over at you, do a quick wave, and he looks over back to the other one, just kind of motions her off. And she exits. And he comes up and he's like, good morning.
Oh, it's morning. Alright. Is there windows in this hospital or in this room or no?
There's probably one here. Actually, no,
okay.
no, they wouldn't. There would be one probably in this corner.
Alright, so he could probably tell. Oh, it's morning.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You were out for most of the night. How are you feeling right now?
I feel great. It's like, my head feels like someone used it as a piñata, but besides that, I feel amazing.
Gives a thin smile. Alright. He goes over, grabs a chair. If I can just grab just the chair. And sits down. Just like, alright. So, Terry, the one who you met, he's next to you right now. He's still out. He got pretty much the same treatment as you did. But he was awake when I got to him, and he told me pretty much everything that happened to you.
So you guys are Cardians, then, I'm assuming.
Yes. By chance, did he tell you anything about Cardians?
I mean, I guess it was too busy with the whole me being accused of being a Cardian spy and being the shit beaten out of me to really say anything. I mean, he was really quiet with the whole, accusation, and there's a lot going on. I don't think he had time to tell me anything really about what you guys are.
No, it appears he really didn't, according to his side. Before we go any further, before I actually give you more information about Cardians as a whole, I'd like to give you a choice. You're completely valid to decline. You can accept. This is up to you. But after we get you back to 100%, we can send you back to wherever you were at, and you can continue on where you were. However, there is a slight discrepancy with that. If we do let you go, Lupin has most of your contact information.
What? Wait, what happened to my... Where's all my shit?
Seems in the time that it took for us to get there, and by the time you were knocked out and for us to get there, they stole quite a few of your things. Only things that we were able to recover. And he kind of gets up and digs into one of the drawers here. And he comes back with the things you have in your inventory, right?
Oh, just a quick question. If he wore a watch, would they have taken that too, or no? Because I would have added a wristwatch to his inventory.
Was it fancy?
It was more of a sentimental gift. It was kind of fancy.
Let me roll something. You have it.
Okay,
Surprisingly.
I want to write that quickly in his inventory then. Because he'd have been so fucking angry if he hadn't had it.
Seems I didn't take everything though.
How kind of them.
Normally thugs like that would honestly just take everything and run, but I guess not. Okay. But yeah, it looks like your passport, your ID, some money, and your credit card was safe.
Alright.
Which, that's the important things.
Yeah.
Or, to continue on from my last train of thought, like I said, you can go back, knowing that Lupin has all of your contact information, or most of it, anyways. Most of that. Or you can help us take him down. Because we've been trying to go after him for quite a while. We just really haven't had any leads. We only just recently sent Terry in to look for him. Well, I shouldn't say look for him, to figure out what he was up to.
Wait. Terry is his real name.
Yes.
You sent a man undercover as a spy using his real fucking name.
It's not what he went by in there.
He introduced himself as Terry fucking Aston to me. Is that not his real name?
He looks at him. he looks at Terry, narrows his eyes, and he's like, I'm gonna talk with him later about that.
Fucking why? Oh, it's why fucking.
Anyways, he shouldn't have introduced himself to you. With his real name. You hear him, like, mutter something to himself. And he's just like, so, what are you thinking for the decision there?
Okay, so a lot of taken. Given I just woke up, so the two choices you've given me is that I can go on back to my normal life. He does this in quotations. All the shit that I have with me after I've recovered. But at the risk that Lupin might do some crazy shit with my contacts and find out I'm alive or some fucking shit like that. Or I can join... Again, I don't know what the fuck Cardians is, besides the fact you're trying to stop Lupin from, I assume, evil shit.
Nods his head slowly.
Right. And, okay. This doesn't seem like much of a choice, even thought you say it's a fucking choice. It's like, hey, you're free to go, but you're probably fucked if you fucking leave our care. And let's join this organization, I don't know this group, and fight the bad guy, is what you're just telling me. And there's no fucking information that you can tell me about Cardians because
The only thing I can really tell you without giving it away, because we can't do that unless you actually agree.
Right.
The only thing I can give you is that we take care of people like Lupin. We deal with people like that. And that it's not too far off from what you were doing.
Okay. Can Thomas do, like, he's a shit. Like, can he, like, do a general, like a check to see if he's, like, if, this guy, Ellis, has been lying to him throughout the whole conversation once he started explaining shit?
Yeah, it's can actually.
What did you cut out for me? What did you say?
Yeah, give me one second, I'll let you do that. Let me
Okay.
get myself the...
So this would be subterfuge and...
Why do I not have this roll written down?
Wits? Or...
What roll is it?
Detect lies. I'm writing this down right now, so I
Detect
don't
lie.
forget it.
Is either a wit subterfuge or an intelligence empathy.
Okay, that's a witch subterfuge then.
Mhm.
On 6 dice. One success.
He's telling the truth to you. At least that's what you think. He doesn't seem like he has any reason to lie to you.
Right.
I mean, if he wanted to deceive you, he wouldn't be taking care of you and actively giving your stuff back. At least the stuff that was on him.
I mean, that could be like, trying to gain someone's trust back to like, here's your shit, we're nice people. I don't know. But yeah, okay. Okay, let's say I join your merry band of heroes. Could I leave if I wanted to?
Eventually, well, define leave.
Like, let's say it's a few months. I have not somehow died. I'm assuming it was fucking dangerous. I haven't died, and say this life is, or this shit isn't for me. I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. As an example, could I just leave or quit?
He kind of runs his hand through his hair, and he's just... It's a complicated question. Because on one hand, yes, you can say, I don't want to do this anymore, and we'll find something else for you to do. But essentially what this will be is you can't up and just leave.
So this is a lifetime commitment, is what you're telling me.
Oh no, you can retire. And then you can put it all behind you, but only when you retire.
What do you mean by retire?
30 years.
So when I am physically incapable of much use.
Either something happens in which you are physically unable to contribute, or
right.
you hit the age of which you can retire. Like if you get both of your arms blown off in an accident,
right.
You can't really contribute anymore.
No, that sounds about right, yeah.
So then we kind of have to let you go. But you'll still be in the fold, but you won't be doing much. for us. That makes sense.
Right.
You can live a normal life, but we'll keep in touch.
Is it really a normal life when you're physically incapable of doing much?
You know what I mean.
Right. And what are the benefits besides the whole helping out with the whole lupine situation of being
Well, he just kind of
because you really need to sell me on this.
leans back and he's just like, well, you have the entirety of this massive facility to live in. We don't charge you to live here. We have a ship in which you can take essentially a cruise every now and again when you go in between missions. And you do get paid quite a bit when you start actually getting higher up. But I can only tell you more. I can only tell you more if you're actually willing to participate.
Right. And okay, let's say I'm a part of Cardians. Can I take other jobs outside of Cardians, or is this a sole contract? What you're talking about?
Well, I certainly won't stop you, but the missions that we get assigned are sporadic.
Right.
Sometimes we'll get a mission that says you'll be going to this location at this time. We don't have a whole lot of, I mean, we do have quite a bit of influence over that, but there's times in which certain things need to be done at certain times to make full use of our time.
Right.
For
And,
instance, the mission you were on,
right.
that one needed to be done at a certain time to ensure it went the best it could possibly go.
Right. Alright, just a few more questions. Given this is a, life-changing choice that I'm making.
One more thing.
Right.
Eventually, not right away, because we still need to get you back to tip-top shape. You will be able to contact people outside of Cardians. So your families, your friends, things like that. However, you can't tell them if you accept about what you're doing.
So basically what I'd normally do most of the time already.
Essentially. But you can't make any mention of Cardians to them.
Right.
It doesn't sound like something too hard, but when you get talking to family or friends and it just kind of slips out, you can't do that.
Right.
Don't mean to be getting all serious with you, but
No,
You can't.
I get it. I am familiar with keeping my mouth shut. Thanks.
okay. Sounds good.
Oh, there
All right.
goes my final question.
Good.
I'm not sure if you can tell me this, given of the lack of information that you can say, but what was the end of the Lupine mission, or my fate associated? Because he didn't seem like he needed the extra help dealing with those people. Or do you not know?
You mean what was given out, or
If I had finished the job and the mission was complete, would I have been able to leave, or was he planning to kill me type thing?
we don't know that right now. We don't know what he was planning at that moment, or any of that for that matter.
I would like to roll to see if he's lying.
Alright.
Why are you a piece of shit, Tom?
Well, I mean, you can see right through him,
Right.
and in this moment, he's being completely transparent with you. Everything that he's told you just now about that, even if he wanted to lie, he's doing a terrible job at it. If this is supposed to be a lie, which you can kind of tell from the way he's like, by the way he said that, like he genuinely wanted to answer the question and give you an answer that would hopefully tide you over, but he was not lying.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
We honestly know just as much about Lupin as you do.
So Terry didn't get any, like, because it seemed like Lupin disclosed more information before I got there to the men he hired, which I assumed Terry was one of them at the time.
He was. I can't give you the details as of right now as to what was discussed as classified for the moment, but in the near future I can give that to you.
Right.
But I will say, Lupin is a very tough nut to crack.
Oh yeah, he was a tough nut to stab too, so I would assume he's a tough nut to crack. Most people have died, but you know, yes. Given what I saw, he's not most fucking people.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, he kind of looks back at you. He's been looking around most of the time, but I shouldn't say he's been looking away from you. He's been looking at you, he just hasn't, like, looked at you.
Right.
And he's just like, so, you think you have an idea what you want to do?
I mean, Sure, why not? Let's be a fucking Cardian. Yay. I have terrible choices before, why not make another? It's a fucking point.
Alright. He gets up and goes back over to one of the drawers in here, pulls out a pin, comes back over, kind of... I'd imagine there's a little end table here. I don't have one here, but there is.
Right.
He puts it on the end table and he's just like, that is going to be your rank here for right now. We're assigned different card suits as our designated rankings, and he kind of pulls out his and he's like, I am the Ace of Clubs. I deal with a lot of physical altercations, stuff like that. You'll see the other card suits around base. Spades are more information gatherers. They plan, do that. They're generally very smart people. Hunter, diplomats. They like to talk their way out of problems. Quite a bit. They usually help deals go over smoothly for us. Diamonds, in your case, are resourceful thinkers, or just generally jack of all trades. From what I was told, you're quite a resourceful thinker.
Oh, thanks. You flatter me.
Miles, just back down. Now I can tell you a little bit more. In case it wasn't completely obvious already with his call sign, Lupin's a werewolf.
Yeah, that's clear now.
Yeah.
Fucking such a creative name. Such
Yeah.
a creative name.
For all we know, that's the only alias he goes by. So the call sign, and he does air quotes to that, the call sign he gave you was the alias he goes by.
Right.
I'm sure he uses fake names in his country, in his home country, or his hometown, or wherever he takes residence.
Wait, was the place that we went to actually his own fucking town? Or was that not actually his fucking town?
We don't know that right now. We honestly don't know a lot about that mission. Terry gave us some information as to what it was about. I'm sure you heard something about sacred ground.
Yeah.
But we haven't the faintest idea what that means.
Right.
We sent Terry in, honestly, to try and get close to Lupin so that we could get information about that whole thing. But apparently, Lupin was onto us from the very beginning. Apparently, he somehow knew he was Cardians quite quickly, from what we can tell.
Wait. Was there another Cardian on the besides me being falsely accused? Now it's rightfully so, but was there another Cardian on your team that got involved? Because Terry said he knew someone when the whole being hired onto Lupin's team.
What do you mean by he knew someone?
Well, I asked him how well he knew the other men, and he says he didn't know them that well, except one other person on the team.
He was probably saving face.
Ah, okay.
He was probably just making something up to get by for you. Because his whole mission was to not give anything away to anybody.
Right.
And so he had to be completely discreet about everything he did, or else his mission would be compromised. If he gave any indication he was Cardians to any, straight to Lupin, and he would probably be killed. Which I'm surprised he didn't actually kill either of you.
Oh yeah, I was surprised too. He did talk about leaving a message and killing us a lot.
To be fair, he kind of like looks off for a second, and he kind of mutters to himself, to be fair, I've never actually heard of Lupin and his accomplices actually killing any civilians. Strange.
Are you sure? What the fuck has he done to be labeled as a bad guy again by our this organization? Exactly.
Well,
besides being a werewolf, I don't know. That's
it was. He's committed acts of. He's committed criminal acts that would deem him a threat on our radar.
Which are.
Well, he's held up a few places, robbed a few places,
Right.
committed a few acts of terrorism, which is not okay.
So what do you classify as terrorism?
Well, he's been raiding villages, for one,
Right.
which I'm sure that's where he got all the supplies for your mission from.
Alright.
It's been labeled enough as a nuisance for the local populace to be warranted for us to investigate. I shouldn't even say nuisance, more of a menace.
Which is where the whole violent Robin Hood thing comes from. Given he hasn't killed any civilians.
Essentially, yes. It seems the only ones he's truly killed are those people that were occupying that place. What was it, Malleus Maleficarum?
Yeah, do you know anything about them when you bring them up?
They're a religious group that
Right.
really hates supernaturals as much as we do, but they take it to an extreme.
Right.
We deal with it because we're essentially, think about it this way. You kind of leans forward a little bit. over here, we have Lupin's gang. Worst of the worst, they'll kill these people because they're supernatural. They will do it because they just need supplies. Malleus Maleficarum will kill these supernaturals for just existing.
Right.
We are in the middle. We deal with both sides because we kind of have to have some sort of balance going on. The supernaturals need to exist. That's just something that needs to happen. They're part of life. That's something that needs to happen. As horrible and awful as they may be, that's why we're here. We're essentially a police force for them. But we're not just a police force to them. We're kind of a police force to the other side too. The side that gets way too extreme with supernaturals. We kind of have to patrol both sides and make sure both sides aren't going too far out of their jurisdiction.
Right. So you're
Does that make sense?
peacekeepers. Yeah, I get it.
Essentially, yeah, we're peacekeepers for the most part. Sometimes we do have to take out supernaturals we deem as threats early on before they become threats because they have the potential to be serious threats.
Right.
But those are rare cases, few and far between. In fact, this division hasn't dealt with that in a very long time.
Hasn't killed a supernatural, or hasn't?
Hasn't done that specific act in taking out a supernatural before it becomes a threat. We usually take on supernaturals that have reason to be dealt with, such as Lupin.
Right.
Which right now we're just starting to look into him, actually. I mean, we've been looking into him for a while now,
Mm-hmm.
but the reports only really started to come in not very long ago.
And you don't know why he's doing what he's doing. He's an enigma to you at the moment.
For right now, yes. We haven't looked too far into him yet. We've started to, but the only way we'd find out why he does these things is to, and he kind of motions over to Terry, send somebody in to figure that out. Because we can't decipher a motive based on action.
I don't know if Terry caught this or mentioned this to you, but I overheard, I guess it was a brief comment, nothing too big, but they were trying to leave a message so some people were to get released or something. I don't know, there were hostages involved or something like that in nature.
I do remember hearing something about that. Whether or not they were hostages is a whole situation we...
Release the rest of the hostages. Or the rest of them. Is what I meant. And I'm assuming he meant something with the group that he slaughtered in the village where we dealt with.
Well, right now, we don't know a whole lot about that. Whether or not they were even hostages in the first place is something we don't know. We'd have to ask Malleus about that.
Right.
And I don't think they're on good terms with us at the moment, considering that we just kind of got blamed for that whole massacre there.
How did you guys get blamed? Exactly again?
Well,
Besides finding us?
Well, there were no corpses of his men there.
Yeah.
There were only Malleus Maleficarum corpses.
Yeah.
And you two were left there long enough for people to come by. We had to come there and get you so that they wouldn't kill you. Because we hadn't heard anything from Terry in a while. And so when the rest of them came to investigate, we were already there taking you guys back. And so it really did not look good for us.
Right.
And so whatever message he wanted to send,
He said
it got sent.
You're right.
So, essentially, Lupin got what he wanted out of that whole thing. So, whether or not he wanted you dead in the first place, or if he wanted to simply knock you out, let us pick you up so that more Cardians were on site to pin the blame on, it could be a possibility. We would need to ask Lupin that, which we can't do anymore because we no longer have an inside man.
Right. And you don't know how Terry got found out.
No. We're looking at every possibility right now, and right now the only thing we can possibly think of is that Lupin had either bugged you, bugged any of the men, or just bugged Terry himself.
Well, I didn't say any shit about Cardians, or Cardians wasn't mentioned whatsoever.
Yeah, I know he didn't talk about it in the hotel. I know you didn't know about it, and none of the other men there knew about it. I don't believe. So it could just be a possibility that Lupin did in fact bug Terry, so that when he was giving reports to us, he was able to listen in. I have yet to go through Terry's things to make sure everything is still there. If we find anything, or in this case a lack of something, actually no, if we find something, that means we found our answer, but for right now, we genuinely don't know what caused him to get found out.
Right. And what happened to I didn't leave a lot of things back in the hotel, but I'm assuming that's gone.
Actually, no. That's probably still there. Because now that he took out that village, it was probably all over the place. Now his Malefic Arm's probably going to that hotel to check the tapes. So Lupin's probably not going to come back there. Or will any of the people that actually came there that night. So your belongings are probably still there. Whether or not they're confiscated by the hotel is beyond me.
Right.
Which we can just make a phone call and get that back.
That would be awesome. One more thing.
Yes.
I'm assuming Terry is fucked up as me, correct?
Not nearly as bad, but still he's pretty beaten up, yes.
And I'm assuming he's a higher rank than me.
He is. He is a 10 of spades, which 10 of spades don't typically give away their true name on a mission if they're told not to.
Yeah, okay.
So, we'll see about that.
Before I start calling him sir and shit like that, can I punch him in the face?
No.
Once? Oh, I tried. Alright. What is your name? I don't believe that was
that's right. I didn't
introduced
even
at all.
I didn't even introduce myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My name's Elias Guillard. I work for Cardians, obviously. I used to actually be in the military, quite like yourself.
What branch?
Just the army. Nothing too special.
So, your name is Alice Giard?
Yes.
Giard, alright.
It's spelled Gillard, but it's French.
Glard. Thomas is saying this correctly. Dark doesn't know how to say shit.
Okay. That's fine.
Alright. I guess that's all the questions I have for now. I assume you have other things to do.
Actually, for right now, I think I'm, well... Hold on. He pulls out a phone and he looks at it and he goes, okay, well, it seems like I actually will have to leave for a few days. I just got called to investigate something in Japan. I will be gone for a few days. So I'll be back at some point.
Have a safe trip, or whatever.
Right, and with that, that's the end of the Thomas Elias one.
Yep.
Welcome to
And-
Japan.
What's going on in Japan?
Who
Yeah,
knows?
we just don't know.
We'll never know.
What a sh...
Alright.
Low
Now-
T for Terry.
Who the fuck
About to
uses their real
slap-
name?
Just to slap Terry shit.
I wanted to punch him so bad. That should have been one of the fucking requirements to join. Can I punch him?
Can I punch Terry?
No.
Being cupped.
Not even, he didn't even let you finish that sentence. He's just like, no.
No.
Yeah.
Just in the face, one time. You know, it's a mimic head trauma.
Little love
That
tap, just a
Thomas-
little boop. You know, just...
I mean, it's not as bad as what Thomas fucking got because of
Relocate
fucking
his nose.
incompetence.
One hit.
Incompetence. This is fucking
Yeah.
incompetence.
So, what now?
Alright. Well, actually, let me see. When your thing took place, Thomas, your thing, because I'm gonna add this into the thing really quick. Because this is this was the day after yours.
Well, I'm sorry, he woke up right after a fucking, assuming concussion.
Oh, I found Nabi.
Yeah, Navi. What do you mean you found Navi? She's not
Where's
anywhere on the
Navi?
map.
Where is Abby?
Where's Navi?
Oh, it's just like, I found Navi. Like, what?
Oh my
There-
god!
Oh,
I
no.
was like,
There's-
where's that
there's-
ninja? Like, oh wait, shit, that's not a fucking
What the
ninja.
fuck? For some reason, I don't know why, but the fucking like little emoticon there actually fooled my ass because I'm like, huh. I looked at it like 3 times during that roleplay, and I was like, there's nothing there.
I thought
What
that
are you-
was an NPC that we didn't know about for a second.
My
No,
dumbass
Navi-
looked at that and was like, my dumbass looked at that and was like, huh, that's
Flawless
Everything is
deception.
fine.
I think
You'll
it's
never
Navi,
see
it's fine.
So yeah,
She is for hiding in it.
okay, I'm gonna go down the list really quick and pick out rooms for you guys. I shouldn't say me pick them out, but you pick yourself a room. So
Okay.
Fariha already picked hers, so Felix, you get second choice, even though you are in the infirmary right now, you still got a second pick.
Okay. I wanted room number 4.
Okay. You will get this one.
Cool.
So for right now, I'm gonna reveal the background here so that you can see whose room's whose,
Navi's in.
Oh, cool.
just so that you know for now. That's up to you to figure that out later. That's for you to remember later, but
Okay.
that's just to show. Joseph, you actually got to have yours
Yeah.
because you weren't injured enough to go to the infirmary. Need to refresh roll 20 real quick, so I'll add a token to yours in just a moment.
Okay.
I will say, you are restricted to the left side because the right side is for NPCs. It's where all the NPCs go.
Fair enough.
I think for the room that Joseph will be in, I think. Okay, I'm gonna have him be neighbors with John. So put them right here.
Give me 2 seconds. I need Roll20 to load.
Oh,
for you.
you have to be on the left side.
Left.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to be on the left side. Okay, alright,
Yeah.
never mind. Right, over here then. Bottom right.
Okay, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
Let me add a Joseph over there.
Wait for Joseph.
Tiny Joseph.
Actually, no, that's gonna get confusing because you're not out of bounds. So just remember that.
Yeah, I'll remember.
Actually, no, hold on. I don't know. This will work because we'll do a little room thing here. So it's room.
Okay.
Okay.
So, right
This is only gonna get slightly confusing.
I see what you're trying to mimic the layout.
Yeah.
I see
Essentially, yeah. So just
I would-
picture the rooms.
Say you put more visible room on the top there, so that you got more
Fine.
room to move the. Okay.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. All right. To Angie, you get. Where do you want to go?
Angie will be. Oh, I don't know. Our left room?
Yeah, on this side.
This one.
Yes.
Okay.
It's an Angie.
All right. Thomas, what do you want? Where do you want your room?
All my first, second, and third choices are gone. Trying to think what is the best tactical room to be in.
Do you want to hear
What's
people
behind
making
Dawn?
midnight snacks, or do you want to hear Joseph snoring?
I mean, Joseph is so tiny, he wouldn't notice Joseph there.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Fucking roasted.
Joseph will.
Joseph punches through the wall.
You will.
To the fucking wall.
He
could
will
torment
punch the
Joseph.
wall.
Like, how
Kool-Aid
thin
Man.
are the walls in this place?
I'd say they're pretty. Like, you won't be able to like hear every conversation through them unless they're right next to the wall.
Right. But
Mhm.
God.
if you like, example, had a ball and started banging it against the wall, Joseph would hear that.
Yes.
Joseph will walk into that room and take that ball.
And read it out the
Crush it.
window.
Okay. He would be in next to Joseph
Alright.
for that
Okay.
possible future scenario that might happen.
Probably fun.
Purely for that reason.
That means
Mm.
Nabi can watch everybody leave.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
creepy.
Actually,
No.
really good because if you stand at your doorway, you can actually see straight through. I love it.
Yeah, Nabi, just gonna be Nabi.
Yeah. She'll keep an eye on you, it's fine.
All right. Well, there's your room layout.
Alright.
But yeah. So you all have your rooms. Those of you who were in the infirmary. Let me see. What was the last session? 420.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'd say you'd probably get at least a few days to settle in. So let's go. Let's say this little thing that's going to happen today takes place on the 4th. Not the 4th, what? The 24th, excuse me.
24th
Your
of
April.
April. Okay.
Yeah, so this whole little thing here takes place on the 24th of April. And you were told by Elias to meet up in the main entryway here. So he can give you a proper tour of the place.
I did
Right,
click
entryway?
here,
Where did you click?
Yeah.
Main down there.
Okay, right here.
Way at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming we're all. Would Thomas be in
I
a
mean-
wheelchair? Because he's in fucking aggro.
His legs are fucked up.
When
Yeah.
it comes to healing, actually, let me see.
How healed would he be?
Okay. Two of your lethal, actually, one of your aggro would be gone,
Right.
turn into a lethal, and then one of your lethal would be gone, turn into a bashing. As for those who have lethal, it takes 2 days to heal one. To heal one of them to turn into a bashing. So Felix, you would have just 2 bashing because regular bashing takes fucking so little time to heal.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you'd be at 2. Nabi, you'd be full. Fariha, let me fix Fariha's really quick.
What about
Sit
willpower?
tight.
And then those who have burned through willpower, your willpower is back because you did sleep, unless you didn't.
We slept a lot.
Hell
Did
yeah.
Did Nabi sleep? I don't know.
Nabi only slept. You leave her in that room on the first day, and she hasn't moved on the 4th day. So
What?
She probably get,
Whoa!
She-
There's just a devil.
You
Just
just don't see her move.
yeah, she's in the exact same position. So whether she got up or not, you just don't know.
The fucking team just checks the cameras to make sure she's still alive.
It's like, she hasn't moved. I'll move her there.
Okay, make sure to change your stuff on the HP willpower doc.
okay.
For those who have not.
Yeah. So
Because I will not be doing that for you.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So we've been here. So roughly everyone's been like in this area for like about. Like I mean, I know everyone like joined in at different times.
Yeah.
But it's just for everyone that's already been like here for like technically longer, like just about a month at this point. Have they interacted with each other at all, or would that be something that we'd have to decide?
I mean, you could have interacted with other people. You could have interacted with anybody.
Yeah, it's just I was just wondering, it's because, I mean, at this point, Jokes has been there for about already a month, so I don't know how he'd be feeling at the moment. There's probably a lot of things he would have wanted to do as soon as he got there. But I think that's probably something we can talk about later, though.
Yeah, we can cover that. We can cover that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for everybody else, like I said, you were asked to meet in this main lobby here.
Disgusting.
The wheelchair? Like, what? Wheelchair or no wheelchair?
Is
Um,
Thomas in that wheelchair?
I mean, you're still an aggro, but like you can still move your legs.
Yeah.
It's not you didn't get the shit kicked out of you. Like your legs weren't broken; it was your
No.
head that was messed up.
That was true. That's very true.
I mean, do you really want him to be
We can
fucking
break
walking
your legs
around
if
and
you
could
want.
probably fall down on his ass again?
They probably gave you a cane or something to keep your balance.
I mean, there's no stairs in this place, right?
No,
As long
there
as
shouldn't be. I don't think.
as long as
No.
he doesn't move his
Wheelchair
head
accessible.
and like, as long as he doesn't like go up and down stairs, he should be fine. Because I've had a concussion before, so that's all.
Yeah,
But-
no,
Yeah.
you're not. I don't think there's any stairs in here, as far as I remember. So you should be fine.
Yep, he's fine then. He's just gonna take it real slow. Not so slow. He'll be casual. He's free, you know? Yeah.
That's fine.
So we're gonna say Fariha's with us. She's in the infirmary right now, but Fariha will be with you.
Where is Jeff?
He couldn't make it tonight.
Okay.
But yeah, when Elias sees everybody has arrived, he'll just be like, "All right, welcome everyone. Sorry to interrupt anything you were doing. I know some of you have been here longer than others, but we saw it fit that since we've got as many people as this place can hold for the time being, we should give you a tour of the place so that you can get familiar with your new workplace."
Okay.
I mean, some of us have been here longer than a month, so you decide now to give us the tour?
I would imagine you would have gotten like some tour, but not like a full extensive one. So it's like here's facilities and stuff. Like, don't mess with this stuff right now. Like he would have. I'd imagine you would have been told like you will be given one shortly. I shouldn't say shortly. You will be given one in the future. You will be given one as soon as we can. And that day just kept passing and passing.
This is like, what the fuck?
Oh, the tour. I forgot that was a thing. Cool.
Yep, we're gonna be doing that today, and then we'll get you set up shortly within this week. Promise you within this week. I know it's been a long wait for some of you since you've been here fairly long.
Angie
Right.
raises her.
Well, and then like as soon as he says that, he sees that, and then stops himself, and he's like, "Yes, yes."
Do you say workplace?
Essentially, yes.
I'm sorry, I wasn't told that I would be working here.
He like he gives you that one look where it's like, and he's like, "Really? Didn't tell you that."
I don't think we have much of a choice.
How do you recruit people? Jesus.
Jesus has nothing to do with it.
He looks down at his. He takes out his phone and he's just like, "I'm going to be needing to make some calls later." Yes, essentially. I shouldn't say you'll be working here, quote unquote. This will be your base of operations. Your work will be outside of this facility.
So
Sorry, there must be something in my ears. I don't understand. I wasn't told that I would be working at all.
It's not the only thing they're not telling us.
Alice isn't exactly the best person when it comes to people. I apologize.
Well, I'm gonna have to talk with her later.
I would
I'd
definitely
like to
do
speak
so.
to the manager.
I would definitely do so as she is a superior.
Well,
Anyways.
regardless of whoever's not giving us information, what exactly
Okay.
are we going to be doing?
Okay, really quick. What do you guys want to know before we continue on with this? So that we're all on the same page.
Joseph
Because
raises his hand.
Because I want everybody on the same page before we start, because it's going to be really awkward if we don't.
Joseph raises his hand first.
Yes.
So, if we're going to be working here, exactly how long are we going to keep staying here?
Thomas is shaking his head slightly.
Well, you'll be here. You'll be here for some time until you rank up, which shouldn't be very long. I'm sure you guys can rank up quickly. You're capable. You will be able to go back
Can you give us
to your
like,
family, but that won't be for a little while yet. I apologize.
You can't give us like 6 months, a year, longer than that.
yeah, could we get an
It
estimate
shouldn't be.
of some sort?
It should definitely not be a year. I would hope to God it wouldn't be a year.
Yeah.
It should be a lot sooner than... Okay. If I had to guess, and don't take my word as law here because I don't know for certain, but I would like to say about probably 6-7 months at the latest.
Sorry, did you say months?
Yes, I did.
Months.
Yes. Is there a problem?
Yes.
Whoops.
What is the problem exactly? You kind of like leans back on the table.
Thank you.
I was thinking like a few weeks, like a month. Not months, girl. I want to go home.
Haven't you already been here for like a month?
She?
At this point, yeah.
Let me see when your tutorial was.
Angie's tutorial was
Almost a month, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, I should be going home by now.
Well, that's rather unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
And he just kind of scrolls through his phone. He's like, it says here that right now, situation back at home is not exactly favorable in terms of what actually happened. We can talk more about that if you would like.
What do you mean?
You are 100% clear on what exactly the problem. Because I would hate to have somebody completely out of the loop. And he just looks at you and smiles.
Ooh. Big
Rolls
dick
her eyes
energy
at
thing.
him.
Joseph giving him a scowl.
Thomas is doing. Everyone's younger around here. Why are there just a bunch of fucking babies all around him? Why? Why? God,
This one literally probably looks like
yeah,
a 10-year-old.
it's literally a fucking baby.
Did Thomas actually say that?
He didn't say this. This is him thinking this.
That's his internal monologue.
Okay,
Internal
I was about to say, because Joseph was about to fucking have some words.
No, he's just quietly just being very amused, but also like, fuck, are these my coworkers?
Mhm.
Why are we doing this yellow text? I want to do some yellow text.
We just do
What
it.
It's like-
is happening?
Is it like slash
Me, right?
Yeah.
me? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can give you all details on your situations if you want after the tour. Just for right now.
Or that.
But for right now, let's at least get through this. And then I can answer questions. Or explain things for those who are uninformed. Are we clear?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Do your thing.
Alright.
I'm good.
Roger.
I don't have any questions.
Alright. If you would follow me.
Whoa.
It's weird, like it's weird, like not having a grid and just had to actually check my icon around.
Alright. He's like, alright. I'd imagine this room is a bit more full. I just don't know what else to put in.
I mean, what room is this?
What is this? Yeah, what is this?
It's a small little break room.
Is that a ball on the left side of
These
the room?
orbs are supposed to be water, like those water cooler, like those office water coolers. But
Oh.
above, that's literally what it would look like.
I
makes
thought it looked. I thought it was some like a little like aqua colored ball.
Exercise.
I can add a little spigot to the front of this to make it look like an office water cooler.
That's okay. It's alright.
Does it have cups with it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You gotta drink out of the fountain
What-
bit like a
What are
savage.
we?
Look, I don't know if anyone
Savage.
carries like water bottles. Felix
Navi will do
goes
it.
over and gets some water.
All right. So these are our main offices over this way. We have most of the higher ups working in here. My office is in here as well. This is where you'll go if you want to bring up any questions to any of us, discuss anything of the sort. We don't have doors. Just come up, give a little knock on our cubicle. We'll make time for you. He's just like, see if anybody's in here, and he peeks in, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, Ava, do you want to meet these? Do you want to meet the new people?" And it takes like a minute or so. A rather disheveled person walk out.
Basically,
Just like-
university.
It's just like, "Hey, I'm Ava. I'm the head ace here. I do a lot of work. I'm the ace of spades. I'm actually in the middle of something right now, but like you said, we're always open to talk." And she yawns and she's just like, turns to Elias. I get back to my report. Yeah, sure. All right.
Thank you.
And like before she leaves, she's like, "Nice to meet you all. Caught me on kind of a bad day. I really didn't get a lot of sleep."
Yeah, I can see that.
Should probably catch up on that.
She kind of gives you that what is that look? It's not the Legend of Korra look where it's just like the "I'm watching you" thing, but it's just like one of those like smiles where it's like
Ava will remember that.
Yeah, so she just kind of looks at you and like her face just says like, "Oh,
Looks at who?
Angie," and just like,
It's fine, she's my boss.
For the record, she doesn't get a whole lot of sleep at all, really. Anyways, continue. All right, there's a little courtyard out here. Not really a whole lot of practical use for this. You can just kind of sit out here, talk, take in some fresh air. You can see one of the places here where we get direct sunlight. So if you want to come out here and just be outside and taking the fresh air, you certainly can.
Well, this is nice.
Come this. Yeah, we have our makeshift groundskeeper Gregor. He maintains this area. Quite proud of it, actually. Might actually meet him here shortly. Anyways, if we go to the left here, kind of walks in. This is pretty much a
Oh my gosh, that's a magic show.
Oh, I'm glad somebody noticed.
This is where we'll be doing most of our group planning. This will be our meeting room for the most part when we call for all of you to get a briefing. typically have you all come in here. There's a lot of workstations here, mostly for you and any of the other low-ranking officials here. Computers and printers scattered about in case you ever need to print off some information. We all know how important that can be, writing up reports and all that.
This carpet needs to change.
Does Angie say that?
She does.
Does she really?
Under her breath.
I'm gonna roll to see if he hears you.
You know, for guys that are...
It's just for Elias to hear what you said.
Okay.
Are you trying to hide that?
How old are these computers, by the way?
Well, we try and keep up.
Is
Wow.
that a crit fail?
Wait, is that to hide it?
Well, she was saying it.
Is that the cell?
Do we have music for that?
What was that for? Before we continue, so I know what that was.
Because she made a comment under her breath, and you said roll to see if hears it.
That's
Oh.
like saying it out loud at that point.
Yeah. I'm not gonna change the music because you just straight up say that the second you walk in. You look down, you're like, this carpet needs changing. After Elias is done talking and you say that, he just kind of looks at you and he's like, honestly, yeah, it really does. I'll be honest with you, it really does. We'll look into that.
Good.
He kind of like pulls out his phone, actually writes something down in it.
You know, for an organization that deals with supernatural shit, I wouldn't think this headquarters would look anything like a shitty IT building.
Oh, damn.
There is more to the building. We just happened to go across a bunch of office spaces.
You say so.
See how old these are?
Yes, actually.
Right, you can do that.
Oh shoot. Prepared? Didn't have my character sheet open. I think int was 2 and computers was 3, I think. Let's see. Give me just a second. Pretty sure it's int computers. Yeah, that's 5. That's 5.
Alright.
Wow, that's alright, that's
You take a look at it. You can already tell this is kind of old. I mean, it's not like
Windows 7 or Windows XP or Windows 95. Like,
Oh my god.
I would say at the earliest, you check a few of them, kind of start up some of them. So, from what you can tell, it's about 7, about like Windows 7.
Oh my god.
They're a bit old.
It's the first Apple computer.
no. Oh god.
No.
Oh god, no.
That is Felix's worst nightmare.
Felix just comes in here and is like, this is worse than the Chiron building.
Oh.
Windows 7. Huh. You know what? That's alright. They're pretty stable. I can work with that. He catches up with the group.
Alright.
Nerd.
Oh.
Did she say that loud?
It's freaking savage.
Well, let me see if she says it out loud.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's fully out
Oh
loud.
my god!
Well, it's not like you
Well, it's
don't
not a
like,
fail.
you don't like you don't basically like announce it like you did with the carpet, but it's loud enough to where if somebody was like actively trying to listen for it, you'd be able to hear it.
Oh, Felix
Oh, yeah.
have been actively trying to hear it, but.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd probably be able to, but it's not like Angie's not trying to get your attention, like she was with the fucking carpet.
It hurts all the same.
Because the crit fail with the carpet, that was Angie just like making it a point to be like, this carpet needs to change right now.
Alright,
Next room.
I guess Felix hears it. He's like,
Alright. When everybody comes in, Liz is just like, alright, so these are our main science labs. Those of you who are interested in anything related to science of the sort, chemistry, any of that, this facility holds most of that. Have a lot of equipment here for you to experiment with certain things, figure out different concoctions you can bring on missions, stuff like that. Not too knowledgeable in that myself. The person you'd have to talk to about that is most likely either Ava or Terry on that one. But since Terry is kind of out of commission right now, best bet's Ava.
Fucking Terry.
Of course, we're big on safety. We have. Me as GM, I don't know what the proper term for like. Is it like the straight up? Is it like a fucking chemical shower? Where it's like, is that actually?
Like, it's like what's it called?
Decontamination.
Decontamination. That's it.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. He'll mention that there is one over there, just to show that like, this isn't gonna be a place to where like if you fuck up, you're not gonna die. Like. He points it out and he's like, yeah, we do have a place to, if you get any hazardous chemicals on you, you can do that. I'm sure you know about that already. You know how to deal with that.
safety is always nice.
Indeed. Especially here at home base. Alright. Any questions before we go on any further? About any of these facilities you've come through already?
I suppose, I'll ask later, but I have notes I might need to ask later about.
Alright, sounds good.
Particularly the computers.
I figured you'd ask something about that. He kind of smiles at you.
Yeah.
I think we can talk about that after the tour is over.
Alright, that sounds good.
Navi, did you actually grab anything by chance?
She's doodling it.
Okay, I was gonna say, because Elias
Creeping
has
around
been
the
watching.
counters.
Because Elias has been watching you. Make sure you're not fucking stealing or taking anything.
He's watching him too. No, she's drawing it and studying it, just so she doesn't forget, just in case.
Alright, let's move along here.
Tis not her job to touch it. Only record.
We're cramming into this small hallway.
Yeah, Thomas keeps going where I'm trying to place Angie.
Yeah, and you keep getting on top of me, man.
Whoa.
Wink.
Mr.
I'm misstepping on everyone's shoes.
That's not professional, Thomas.
He's a fucking professional. He's been like, I mean, he's in a fucking suit right now, looking all fucking professional, not really saying much, but always watching.
Alright, Elias stops and he's like, alright, well this here is a place where if you want to craft anything specifically to help out on missions, place where you would do that. So if you want to make anything out of your creative minds or figure something you can fashion together, this would be the room to do it. We have some blueprints laid out over here. Points over there. Some blueprints laid out over there. You can make your own if you wish. Alice has her own workstation, which at your current rank you aren't allowed to go into yet, but once you hit rank 3 you will be able to enter that. Which, that workshop has much more materials than this one.
Well, arts and crafts room. What are we in kindergarten again?
No. This is just for if you were to make anything such as a weapon, per se, out of 2 different materials. You would craft that in here.
Popsicle sticks in glue.
So I'm assuming we're making our own weaponry instead of getting it supplied to us mainly, or how are we dealing with that?
You will be able to get supplies, like guns, knives, any of that. But if your ingenuity finds that those don't do the job, you can make your own. If you find a new type of supernatural that encourages a different type of weapon, such as a flamethrower, you can craft one in here.
It's a little extreme, don't you think?
Sometimes we need to be a little extreme for some cases.
Adapt or die, I assume.
Well, I'm not really a gun kind of guy, but I mean, we'll see.
Not
Right.
be finger guns at you.
Oh my god. Children. Literally children.
Oh. Now he's having a little rusted. Oh, off again.
And he comes in here.
I feel like Navi's token should be much smaller.
To be the same size.
I'm still
So that
bigger
she
than
moved
them.
the character.
Alright. So when you come in here, you see 3 people in here, 2 of which are on what appears to be like a boxing ring, sparring, and another sitting at one of the tables reading a book. Elias just kind of looks around. He's like, this is pretty much a recreation area. Can train here, relax here. Pretty much the same as the courtyard out there. Except there's more to do in here. In terms of he would not be stumbling over his words. That is just me. I am struggling.
It's okay, take your time.
So good. Yep.
Yeah. He's like, this is more if you want to hone physical skills. You can do that. Mai here, she spends most of her time in here actually sparring, so if you ever want to spar with somebody, she's almost always more than willing to do so. And if time allows it, so will I.
I have a out of character question, but sparring, like, are they just like, is it like standard like boxing sparring with like headgear and gloves and everything, or is it just like a bare fist kind of thing?
They've got headgear.
Just beating the shit out of each other.
I see swords. Are there actually weights and shit in here, or is it more like?
There are weights in here, and there are like wooden tools in here, like swords, smaller daggers, knives,
Nice.
just to like practice with certain certain weaponry.
Right.
That's mostly in that corner. Everything else just seems to be like, few tables and such. I know some of you have already met Mai, but, that's her. Points to the male in the ring. And he points to the male and he's like, that's Gregor. He's a little eccentric. He's our groundskeeper and he likes to talk. But not all that bad.
Cool.
You said that like he locked you in a room for like an hour and wouldn't shut up.
I'm just giving you the warning. For those who need one. Those who want one anyways.
I forgot that every time it does this, it prefaces it with the actual name.
Yeah.
Right, and that's Jamie there. Kinda motions toward the table. He's honestly the complete opposite of Gregor. Very quiet. Reminds me of, he kinda looks over at Navi.
Who's looking?
Elias.
She just looks straight back. Stops. She stops and she just looks straight out.
Smiles and waves.
Waves back.
Alright. Ignore Faria in here because she is not in this room.
That's what they want you to think.
She's been with you on this tour.
They put a sheet over her head.
Fucking dead.
She is dead.
Oh my god.
Is Terry still in this room? Or is he gone by this point?
He is.
Okay. But he's he's gone or he's in the room?
He's in the room still.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Elias comes down to like a small whisper and he's just like, this is the infirmary. Some of you have been in here for a little bit, so you're probably familiar with it. But this is where you'll end up if you get injured on a mission, or if you require medical attention. Don't want to disturb anybody who's sleeping, which I think right now Terry is, so let's try and be quiet.
Well, where is Terry? Is the question.
He's the T. He's the T.
T for Terry.
Oh
For
my god.
Bust through the fucking wall.
Oh yeah!
Like he's in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Navi is testing the bounciness of these things.
Oh my god.
I was just gonna say, like, did you just fucking stroll up to one of these and just lay in it?
She's sitting on it, she's bouncing a bit. She nods to herself and she gets up.
Joseph just looks.
Maybe you don't want to be on those. Trust me, it's not pleasant after sitting there 2 or more days.
Can't be any worse than the beds in our rooms.
She just silently laughs into her hand.
Angie just snickers.
What did Joseph say? I completely missed.
As he add Felix's comment, he just says, "Can't be any worse than the beds in our rooms."
Okay, to preface that comment, you would have been able to leave your room. I'm just saying, unless you're just shitting all over the Cardians right now.
He's just shitting all over the
Alright.
I mean, to be fair, like when he got back after fucking being in prison for 3 months, he thought that bed was like the most comfy thing in the world, and now that he's in this area for like a month, he's completely sick of that bed now.
Oh my god.
God.
Alright. and takes you guys further down. Alright,
Oh,
and this...
look who it is.
Yeah, some of you already know who this is. This is Alice, our Ace of Diamonds. This room here is our main library. We have quite a selection of books on the supernatural or relating to supernatural in here. You can check any of them out, feel free to do that. It's not a huge deal if you don't return it right away. We're not an actual library here. Just give it back to us at some point. We like to have it full.
All the books disappear, because now he's just hoarding them into a room.
Like to have somewhat full shelves.
God.
And I believe that's the last room that I can show you right now. Over that way, he points across the room to the other set of doors. That right there is the other workshop, like I mentioned earlier. As of right now, like I said, you guys don't have clearance for that yet. But once you rank up one, you will be able to go in there and use that facility to its full potential. Alright.
Out of character, you were breaking up a bit.
Yeah, I couldn't hear
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unaware.
Okay.
Just because it's being a shit, because this
That last little bit was just like, this is what we have until we
Yeah.
full potential. Something.
Discord, why are you doing this?
I mean, we understand what was happening.
Yeah, I think we get the gist, so we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says, alright, any further questions before we conclude those?
Nabi
So
holds up.
So where exactly are going to be working? Joseph says with air quotes. That room across the courtyard that we walked into.
That one will be where you actually get your jobs, so to speak. You'll be pretty much all over South America, I'd say. Which you would all know you're in South America. Let me make that very clear. Everybody knows that you're in South America. Before anybody calls them out like, excuse me, why are we in South America? You didn't tell me that.
We've been here for a month. Most of us.
Oh my god. Nabi holds up her notebook and it just said, when's dinner? The most pressing question.
That is a good question. Food. How does that work?
We eat it.
There is a market actually down the road from here that you guys can pick up some materials from to make food and stuff like that. That will be up to you.
Well, if we're gonna go to a market to get food, I'm gonna assume we need some cash.
Which, you will be getting paid for this. Don't think that you're gonna be here without any payment. Trust me, you will be getting paid. And out of character, let me actually tell you how much you're going to make, because that fucking equipment sheet lies. That's what was there from the sheet I took it from. That's not what it is. That is not what I'm gonna make it.
Which one? Equipment.
The one
Yeah,
that's like
so-
$250 a month.
Yeah, no,
Is it less?
Is that more?
no, it's more
Oh, thank God.
because
Oh,
you're not
thank
gonna be, because that's under minimum wage.
That's so under.
It's incredibly under.
I've got
Yeah.
one's 500 a month,
Hmm?
but that I don't know. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, let me figure something out.
Because my sheet's got an automatic thing for resource dots, so 1 dot would be 500 a month. 2 dots would be.
Those of you who actually know about that.
About what?
Those who can, really quick. You think? If anybody would know, 500 a month. How much would that be? Like, how much would you be getting paid? Because I need to know how much you make.
Well, that depends on how long we're working.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean,
The hours. 40 hours.
Like, yeah. So okay. Like, let's do the math.
okay.
So 500.
How
So
this
500.
works? Oh,
Sorry.
okay. So how this works
Yeah.
is, even if you're not on mission, you're still getting paid because this job is fucking nuts. Like just existing warrants money.
Okay. Yeah. So it'd be like $16 a day.
Pretty much.
Which divided by 24 hours, that's like 70 cents an hour.
Wait, what?
Yes, we
For
are.
for $250 a month?
Wait, I thought you said 500 a month.
Oh fuck! Hold on. No.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus
What the
Christ.
fuck? I don't know anything about this. I'm sorry. I just took this. I'm a fraud. I took this from the fucking sheet that I had that had these on it. I'm a fucking fraud.
I know.
Scams over the entire player base.
I know we're broke, but Jesus, like I didn't think it was fucking literally pennies an hour.
You're not getting paid pennies an hour. You'll be paid double digits an hour.
Okay, then we should get more than
500 a month.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Alright, I'll let you guys figure that one out. I hate numbers.
Okay.
We're gonna figure this out right now on camera. Fuck it, we'll figure this out live.
We're doing it live. All right.
All those who are listening, hi. I don't know anything about wages.
Okay.
I understand.
So you want
Wait.
No matter what the number is, Angie's not going to be happy about it.
exact fucking
Before
Joseph?
you guys get into this, is this the only thing that we've got left to do?
I
just
think so.
want to ask because I gotta get up in like 5 hours.
Yeah, I think so. You can probably head out.
Alright, okay, have fun with your maths.
Alright.
Alright, night guys.
Bye, Nabi. Bye. Nabi stays for 44 years.
Okay. Really
Okay.
quick. Before we get into the math, these guys would know what you made at your last job. So, Angie, what did you make at your last job?
It's for me to know this.
Well, let me put it this way.
I mean, it's for charity. It was a charity job, so I don't know if she got paid much.
Well, whatever it is, you'd probably get paid more.
Yes.
Yeah. And Joseph being a waiter, you know, a lot of his money came more from tips than actual wage.
Yeah. Most of you'd probably get paid, like, more than your previous job.
I don't know about Thomas, because
Thomas, this is new to you because you don't get paid hourly. You get paid up front to do a job, and that's it.
Yep.
This is hourly.
This is like back when he was working like at like retail jobs and like shit like this. He's evolved with this boy. He's supposed to evolve.
So yeah,
had like tech job. So that
this dude who has fucking like thousands of dollars in his account has to fucking.
I would say Felix. Let's see. So
I mean, he would have been making about like $65,000 a year. I mean,
I'm thinking about what would be reasonable for a wage for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, let me
Like a
consider
realistic wage that you guys would make.
You can think this later.
Yeah, I mean, considering that we're supposed to be broke, and
Well,
Some of you. Yeah.
I will. I will say, where did we leave off just before we got into this whole tangent?
Joseph was asking about money if we're gonna go to the
Yeah.
market
Food,
to
yeah.
get groceries.
That's why I was gonna ask. That's what I want. That's why I got into that whole thing, is because I wanted to know how much you guys were making, so that Elias would tell you. But I guess we can just say, like, insert how much.
Yeah.
So I guess we're expected to buy our own food, is what I'm getting at, or I'm getting, like, what Thomas is getting from Elias.
Yeah.
Okay. Feed yourself.
$30 an hour is like roughly 60 to 65,000 a year. Just
Yeah, I just
understanding the
googled
scale.
for Angie's job and it said like 25 an hour.
Okay.
Joseph probably would make like 20 an hour, maybe 25.
Let's
Like,
go with
10.
No.
Rock
You guys are putting. You guys are like. You guys are quite literally like. You guys are fucking dealing with supernatural bullshit on a daily basis. You're not going to be paid 10.
But we're broke.
Look, when I say you're broke, it doesn't mean you guys aren't getting paid. You're getting paid,
But we're broke.
but they don't have much money after they pay you.
So we better pay it forward. Something like that. We gotta be making wise investments with our time and money. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, let's go with because y'all are putting like yourselves in danger on a daily basis if you're doing missions every day. Let's go with right now. Let's go with 27.
Okay.
Does that sound alright?
Yeah.
Okay.
27 a day, not an hour.
As in, like, you saying like $27 a day?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh no.
City, we're not that broke.
But we're not handing you pennies every hour. Like, use this wisely, sir. Use this wisely, sir. Don't forget to go to the local soup kitchen.
Like back in my day, these quarters could get us.
I hear Maribel makes a fantastic clam chowder at the soup kitchen.
Well, yeah, it's also considering that third world countries don't really have a lot in terms of money in the first place. I mean, it'll depend.
Yeah,
depending
no,
on
it would
the
be.
country.
You would get paid hourly, and so 27 an hour I think would be good.
That is about 650 a day.
Okay.
Which, yeah.
That we work, or that in general we get paid that much?
You'll just get paid that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Because, well, okay. Well, before we get into that,
Right.
we'll decide how that works. But we just have your wage down. That's all I needed to know for right now.
Well,
Right.
okay. Well, let's just leave that on the table. We'll get to it later.
We'll discuss that at a later date. Probably after this whole thing's over, because it's not going to take very long to finish up. But Joseph asks about that. He's like, alright, so we have you all slated for about 26, 27 an hour. This is a pretty demanding job, so to speak.
What will we be doing?
It depends, really. Could be going to check the integrity of towns, deal with complaints about things that have been happening, dealing with supernatural creatures. It all depends on who is paying us to deal with it.
Okay. When I was brought here, I told that I would be given protection. You're risking my life again. And she says this while looking at Alice.
And you are given protection. This facility here is provided to you for us. No need to pay us for rent or anything of the sort. You have trained professionals in the field to accompany you on missions as you so choose. And that, and you'll be trained in anything you wish to learn about this at your leisure.
I don't understand. Why am I going on the mission?
Because you signed up for it.
I did not sign up for this.
Well, if you didn't, then why are you here?
Because this one, and she's gesturing at Alice, told me if I join you guys, I would be safe.
He just kind of steps next to Alice, just like, and you are safe. You've been safe. And you will stay safe.
Safe, Joseph says with quotation marks.
But since you've gotten here, we haven't been in any immediate danger, and nor will we be. This place is relatively off the radar. And if any danger does come knocking, we have many sight that know how to deal with anything of the sort. Plus, and most people here are trained in many forms of combat to make sure that anything that does happen to stroll upon our home base here can fight it off.
Alright then, so why do you need us to work?
We're gonna have to pull our weight here. Nothing is for free.
Yeah.
He just like shoots daggers at everyone else.
Smiles back.
Just crosses her arms, silent.
Look, I know this
Swing
is a
her
sudden.
heel.
I know this is a sudden change for you and everybody else here. But what you were promised is being kept. You have my word and everybody else's word. And well, any of the other higher-ups' words to go off of. They will tell you the same thing.
Well,
So,
frankly, I don't know about anyone else, but thank you.
He nods your way. You're welcome.
Just a quick question. Given everyone's different backgrounds, I'm gathering, are there going to be mandatory training, or is it just more of our free time that we're expected to learn?
We can have training sessions if you want.
I feel they're going to be very necessary. As he, casually looks over everybody else in the fucking room.
Alright, well listen, we all can't be a walking John Wick, alright?
I mean, you do bring up a good point, actually. We can actually make that happen. If you want, I can bring that up to Ava, and we can probably get one set up for probably, I think, When are we completely open? He looks through his phone calendar. Okay, so we're booked for the next few days, but probably next week we can get you in for one. All of you, if you want. Won't be mandatory, but
nothing else there to do.
yeah, it won't be mandatory. But if you want to do that, team building exercises, any of that, I'll have probably Gregor or I handle that.
I'm sure everyone here will love to do that as he looks down at Angie.
Angie is just looking at her nails right now. Tuned out the conversation.
Oh my god. This will be so fun. So much fun. So much fun.
Alright, well, you're free to go. Tour is officially over. Make yourselves, quote unquote, at home.
Well, I guess I do have one last question then. Now that we've all had the big tour, when will our next mission be?
Get you set up on something within the week. Make sure that training session's before your next mission, before the first one that you go on as a full unit. The latest, I'd probably say this time next week.
Okay, that sounds good.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, so we're already. You already decided we're all together already.
Essentially, yes. You'll be operating as a 6-person unit. We will be within phone call if you need anything or need our assistance. We've already kind of planned out the first thing for you to go on. It's not going to be anything too crazy.
Right.
Alright.
You shouldn't be dealing with any supernatural either. This is more just a local case of something.
Whatever we need to do, we'll do it. As long as you get us out of here soon.
Alright, we will, Alright, let's, work hard and we'll get to that point. He sounds a lot more enthusiastic than I do. Like, work hard and we'll get to that point.
Yeah.
Alright, any other questions? Before I take my leave?
When we go into town, do we need a babysitter, or can we? Is it close enough that you don't have to worry if we're getting our food in?
We've got people stationed in town, people that aren't necessarily Cardians, but will work with us,
Okay.
Okay.
Do you
that
have
are
like
positioned within the town that can keep an eye on things.
I guess do you have a
Alright,
list
good.
of those people so we know, which people to buy things from or who to talk to?
I mean, you can buy anything from anybody, unless they approach you about Cardians to begin with. Then just try not to bring it up to anybody, and that goes for everybody else too. I don't know if you were told this, but try and keep you being a part of Cardians to the down low. We can't really let it get around to the general populace. That'll cause mass panic upon people realizing that supernaturals exist, and we really don't want that on our hands.
Yeah, we've heard it before.
Yeah. I'd rather not want apocalypse to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, that would not be good.
Alright. Well, if we're not gonna stay any longer here, I'm probably gonna go pick up some food.
All right, we'll See you later then. Any of you need me, I'll be in the staff offices where I showed you where Ava was. Be there at my cubicle if anybody needs me.
Yep.
Alright.
Alright.
So
With that, I'm probably gonna call this here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Out of character question, has Thomas met his ace yet? Like officially talked to instead of just having her know of him during the 4 days that he's been here? Or
I mean, well, okay. This did not take 4 days. This whole thing here did not take 4 days after your tutorial. This took place probably. Let me see. This was on April 20th, and so I'd probably say about probably another 3 days after that.
so 7 days, a week. He's been here for a week.
Yeah, about a week, yeah. Most of that time you've been spent in the infirmary, I will say that.
Yes, that's definitely.
I would like to say that you probably could have.
She's right there. I don't know.
But if you hadn't met her in the infirmary, you have her right here, right now.
Yep.
Which, by the way, really quick, I'm gonna retcon that whole thing that happened with Elias and Angie room, where he was laid up against the table like that and just completely sassed her ass. That didn't happen, because he's a very calm boy. That was me leaking into character, and I didn't like that.
with Angie.
what?
Yeah, when he looked at his phone, it was like, says your situation's not so good. That didn't happen.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That didn't happen, because that's not Elias. He would not do that. There's no way in hell he would do that. That was just me slipping out of character.
That's okay.
Because Elias is supposed to give off the vibe of being very calm and collected at all times, and so that would not be him at all. It's hard, because I deal with so many people like Angie on a daily basis at work. I have to hold it in all day at work, and so when I get home and I hear it, I'm like, I have to fucking fire back. I have all this energy in me. I gotta let it out at some point, and I used Elias as that, and I'm not ashamed. Please forgive me, but it's just like it was a moment of weakness.
Oopsie. Yeah.
Oops.
I did an oopsie.
Look, if anyone wants to clap back at Angie, you are free to do so at any time. I want people to clap back at her.
There are people who will. There are NPCs that will do that at Angie, like Ava, the smile that she gave you. Ava is one of those people. Let me just fucking name all the NPCs that will, just so that you know. If you ever talk to them, expect them to fucking fire back. Ava will. Mai will.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think those two are the only ones that will, like, actively, the second you start saying shit, they'll just immediately just fire back at you. Otherwise, they have a pretty high tolerance. Gabe has a pretty high tolerance, but, like, he's got the fucking customer service, like, manager thing where it's like, I'll say what you want to hear, but at the same time, you're not getting what you fucking want. Like, I'll be nice to you, and I'll act like a fucking saint in front of you. But I like, if you look a little bit deeper, if you look under the veil, I'm fucking pissed. The best way I could describe Gabe is a fucking retail manager. In terms of, like, personality. Jamie just won't talk to you. Like, if you start talking to her, she just won't talk back. Alice just will fucking probably shut down the moment you start shitting on her.
Oh no.
Oh no, Alice, I'm so sorry.
I was afraid you'd start doing that in the middle of the fucking tour, and I'm like, I want this to fucking happen, but I'm like, I don't want to do this right away. Like, I don't want it to get destroyed within 2 seconds of our fucking meeting early on. But yeah, to further talk about the whole hourly thing, let's discuss that right now that we're off the air, so now we have as much time to talk about it as we want.
Let me end the recording. Hang on, we're almost.
Oh shit!
What? You haven't ended the recording?
No. I'm sorry. I was enjoying.